right now I'm doing a review on 3 breast milk bags. Here are the brands that I have. I've got Medela. I don't know what this is, so honestly I'm gonna take this out because I had just got that free. I'm not the best at pronouncing this. And then Nano Baby or Baby. I'm just gonna go over each bag and then I'll compare probably in between or at the end. So that's how that's gonna go. And then I'll let you know my top 2 or my favorite. Disposable breast milk bags are helpful for really any mama. And I like them because I'm trying to do a surplus of milk. So having disposable bags are much easier than having like the silicone reusable. I did want reusable, but that's not very feasible or convenient if I'm trying to have a surplus and freeze a lot of milk. So I have used this and this, and then you freeze them flat. I haven't really used this. This is more so what I have on the go. And if I'm using it soon, I won't really freeze this. So please put your opinions down below of your experience with breast milk bags or your experience with the ones I'm reviewing. Remember, my opinion is my own. And I'll go over each bag in little ways as well as how they are in comparison to one another. And that will be my video. And now I want to post a few descriptions that I came across pertaining to the breast milk bags. So you can screenshot it if you want, but it's just a few screenshots that I took just so you can see the price and other things. And just so you know, the screenshot of the price is specifically from Target. They go up to 6 ounces and this one goes up to 5. And so I would suggest that also you don't fill these up past the max. I've done it before and it's not that big of a deal to me, but it just won't look the neatest, and sometimes it can spill over at the top even if you close the top and freeze it. So with the Medela, I like the feel of it, and I like how they've got the name, date, and then amount right here. But I like how I can write it in this direction versus here where you have to write it like upside down, and that kind of irritates me after I fill the milk up, because sometimes I don't know how many ounces I'm going to have. So then I have to go back, write it upside down, and that bothers me. But what I will say is I like how this tells you how to freeze it, which tells you to lay it flat. These don't have those same instructions. And so here it has the name, date, time, volume in the right direction. And as you can see, these come at a slant. I don't know how beneficial, as you can see, these come at a slant. I'm not sure how beneficial that will end up being, because I don't have I've seen people use these with the holder. I don't have that, so I'm not sure how that will help me. Now, we're gonna fill these up with water. And I was thinking about using food color so we can see if it spills out. So first, this is how you open this one. Write your name, date. And I always try to cup it like this so I don't make a mess when I'm putting my milk in here. Now, I may be cheating when I do this, because I fill it up according to what it looks like when it stands up, not when this is tucked in at the bottom. And I usually wait. I let it get to that point. So you have to also take the air out. So this is normally what I do with my milk. Slide it up so I can try to take the air out. And then I'll close it. So also, let me just rip this off rip it like a Band-Aid. So as you can see, when you rip it off, it is not that neat. You see this is slanted a little bit. I've had times where I've ripped this off and I'll accidentally rip off half of the note section. So keep that in mind. Okay. This already feels sturdier for me. Now I pull it down. Yep, so that can happen. I'm always triple checking, doing it over and over because I want no mistakes. And this one, you don't have to rip the top off. You just open it. What I will say automatically is the opening of this is much smaller. That somewhat bothers me. Maybe it's different for somebody else. Also, keep in mind, these are my opinions, my experience. Everyone's experience may vary, especially if you fill yours up past the amount that they suggest. Then your experience might be very different from mine. And I would like it if some people would comment theirs. I want to know how it was for y'all when y'all used these bags. As you can see, just from appearance, like, hello, this flimsy, this much sturdier. Even the bottom, this is much sturdier. It has extra security around these parts, around the bottom, that helps it stand up. And even the top, like the sides, that helps keep it sturdy. As you can see with this, too loose for me. I don't like it. I don't like it. You may be different. So this won't stand up on its own. The Nano Baby or Nano Baby. For me to summarize so far before I put it in the freezer, I'm going to say between these three, this is the winner for me. I don't care that much that this one is a different shape. And I think when most people stack these, I see them sitting them up in the fridge. I can't recall. This is definitely in last place for me. I don't like that I have to write upside down, and if I have to make any changes afterward. Also, I definitely don't like that this is not that sturdy. And I have had experience when it was frozen and I place it in some warm water, it has some type of split or cut somewhere outside, and I blame the lack of sturdiness with this bag. This bag is, I can feel that it's more sturdy than this, than the purple one, but I don't like that it doesn't stand up, which you could probably just change on your own, honestly. I will say this part feels much stronger to me, but that's more of enough. That's how it feels. It's definitely between these two, but I like how this one is made to stand up, especially when I'm not ready to put my milk in the freezer and I'm just putting it in the fridge before I fill it up, because I usually like to wait to try to get it to 6 ounces. So I'll sit it in the fridge. I like that I don't have to lay it down. I only lay it down when I'm ready. So, having said all that, I'm going to put them all in the freezer. So, I laid them all flat. This is some milk that I actually had to freeze, so I just went ahead and put it in there. As you can see, the Lacino, they lay flat the best, but the lack of sturdiness is enough for me to say nope, not doing it. And here we are. So these don't lay flat the best, but at the end of the day, I don't care, because I like how sturdy these are. So I probably can fit more of these in a Ziploc bag than I can these. But when I stack these, I make sure I do them every other, like that, when I stack them. But I do that with this too. I do every other, bottom to top and whatnot. But sometimes I will be honest, sometimes I do go a little over the 6 ounces, but it is what it is. So now I want to test these out, and I have my own little methods that I do when I get my frozen milk out. But we're gonna heat up, I'm gonna get some warm water, soak it in this blender cup so we can see, will it leak? And I'll do that to all 3 of these. And again, I've seen this leak before, and thankfully I was just making breast milk soap. Thankfully I was just making breast milk soap, but I would be upset if it was my last bag or whatever. So that's enough for me to suggest this to you between the 3. Well, just not get this. I would suggest one of these, but this is mainly what I use. I don't have too much experience with that. This isn't one that I really freeze too often and store in my Ziploc bag. I do that with this. And I do that with this Lacino, but it's not my preference. We tested this one out. I honestly walked away, wasn't paying attention, because I'm pumping at the same time. But it's been about 20 minutes since I put this in here, and as you can see, it didn't leak. But like I've told you, it has in the past. So yep. Well, that was that. We'll put that there, and then we'll test out the next batch. I think it's been another 20 minutes. So No leak. It didn't leak inside the thing. At this point, I don't think you really have to keep watching if you don't want to, but this is just me thawing it. After much hard work shaking, it finally came out. But that, I don't blame on Medela. I blame on my sealing. But I do want to say, when you seal them, make sure you are sealing them. Because I've had, mostly, you know what? I'm not sure if it's with this or that. But I've had milk when I freeze come out a little bit at the top. So make sure you're sealing it. And make sure when you do try to get the air out the bag, you're very careful, because the way I do it is like this, where I'm scooting the liquid up, the milk up, but that can cause the liquid to get in here in the crevices, and then of course it's gonna come out at the top a little bit. I know this is a double seal, so maybe that makes a difference. I mean, I'm sure it does, but I really should be careful regardless of what you use. But there are some limitations to this little experiment, because I messed with this multiple times. And you can see that the liquid got in there. I do the exact same thing with my breast milk. The liquid ends up where the seal is. Yep, resealed it. It's good. So this did not leak at all, and this was fine. None of them leaked. So I think it all turned out great in terms of testing out if it leaked. Even had a little bit there. See, but had a little bit in the seal is what I'm talking about. But these all turned out to be fine in terms of testing out to see if it was too flimsy or if playing around with it caused it to leak and whatnot. I did have this did leak. I hope it's not me being biased. Well, you know what? It didn't leak. So let me say this. Just for clarification, in case I misconstrued what I was saying earlier. When I had an incident with this leaking in the past, it was a leak at the bottom, I believe. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't seal it good enough, it came out at the top. It was something like, it was, I don't know what happened, if something sharp hit it, what happened. But all I know is the milk came out. It had got mixed in. This just now, it stopped once I resealed it. So even though you saw a little red come out earlier, or I saw it, I resealed it and it's back to good, if you ask me. This was fine. And I've got this here too. Again, I don't know what brand this is. I had just got this free. But I'm just going to show it just in case somebody so happens to come across these, or if these are cheaper, or if you know what brand this is, go ahead and comment down below. I personally don't like writing on cold when it's cold, because it's harder to print. So again, I feel like it reminds me of Lacino, where I have to write it before, or it's easier to write before. And I will say I didn't test out any of these in terms of how much liquid does it actually hold compared to like what it says it'll hold. Like, oh, it says 5 ounces and it's accurate or it's not accurate. No, I trust to believe the containers, I mean the bags. But I will say, coming back to this, I like this little cut here because it does make it easier to pour. I can just thaw it, do whatever I need to, and then I'll pour it out just like that if I need to thaw the whole thing. What I do like about this bag is how it has this easy cut out to pour. So I will say that, and it's pretty sturdy. So here we are, and thank you for watching.
If you ride with me, I gotta work for the both of us.